Hello my fellow survivors, I am more to me for life, and we are back with Subnautica, which is unusual for a Monday. Normally it is Fallout. Today we are doing building in Subnautica. Now I am going to go ahead and tell you this video is going to be out of order, meaning some of the things that you are seeing right now is out of season order. Because I have actually recorded bits and pieces of one episode and a previous episode already. This is what is happening afterwards. But since I don't want to stop and explain everything that I did during that recording, because there is a lot to show of what I was doing, I wanted to go ahead and kind of jump into this. And I can't build in Fallout this week because there's an update going on, which is the reason why I opted for a build in Subnautica. So let's jump on it, and please do remember this will be out of order when I go back to fix the playlist. I will put this one in the proper order, and I will probably even number it in the proper order so it'll be easier if it's being watched later on. So, Wednesday's episode will still be here. Everybody saw all of my lockers and my wonderful little bits and bobs over here. Now, I do have the power cell charger, and I have expanded. But, I think I'll show you the inside before I show you the outside. The outside's kind of impressive. I do have a split off here, where I've got these little gardens. I do still have bubbles showing up inside of my building, and occasionally I will have fish that come inside my building and just kind of fly through, which is pretty cool, I guess. I have the garden here. We have a whole bunch of fish, a very feng shui garden going on. And let's see, back here I have the bioreactor. I want to put a plant thing over here specifically for the bioreactor, but I have not done that because I don't know if I'm going to build off of that area just yet. And this is where I've got the flora and fauna of things that I can go and collect, but I haven't found a use for yet, whether there's actually a use for them or if it's just something I can pick up and play with. But if there happens to be a use later on in game, I wanted an example of it somewhere in here. And in order to harvest these, you use the knife instead of going into the planter itself, and you'll get more than one back. You'll get a seed back. So this is still gardening and reserving. You're not having to take one plant for one plant. I won't have to go back and get another one. I've already been experimenting with those, and if you've played this game, these right here are actually useful. Whenever you go to the first island, if you've seen my first episode of when I got to that island, I was running to try and get on and off that island. I did not realize that there was a plant there that I could eat. On both islands that I've encountered so far, there is food there to eat. There's no sense in rushing on and off the island. Just a tip for that. And these particular ones, you pick all of them up and you chop down the last one inside the pot, because right now I've got, let's see, 2, 3. Let's see, I've got 2 in there. Yeah. Take that one, and then the last one, not that way. Good grief. And see, when I chop one, it gives me 4. So, and they're small, so I can put them back in here just like that. So, I'll have to fix that later because I'm being a dingbat. But that is okay. That's how that works. Okay, now then. That is done. I do have a room to the left up here, though it is not currently being used. I am hoping that I'll eventually find a use for this, but it's more like I wanted to keep an eye on my secondary base, which I will show you in a minute. I wanted a place where I could see that. And this area I'm not sure is done yet. I'll have to find out whenever I find out whether or not there's anything more for me to put in there. And welcome to the moon pool. Yes, I finally got the moon pool. I will actually show footage of that in the next actual video. But as you can see, I have decorated it out completely. Everything is very feng shui, and we've got my puddle jumper. Hit me down in the comments if you know where I got the term puddle jumper, and I will also give you a shout out for that challenge, because reasons. Okay, just reasons. Next little bit, we are actually going to go outside, and I will show you all that in a minute, but first, we have got every single plant I could harvest underneath the water is represented here and at the other station. And if you harvest them by knife, you get extras. If you try to take them out by the planter, you take out the, well, actually these particular ones, especially these ones, you can't remove them this way. You can't take them out of there. You hit them with the knife and you slowly harvest them. The creep vines put an awesome little glow a little bit on the inside, but they also highlight where this place is whenever I'm trying to get here. But everything, good grief, my mouse is in a weird place, sorry about that. It makes someone nauseous. But every time I run into a new plant that I could scan, I harvest some of it and bring it back here. This has taken a lot of trips to bring them all back here. But I figure my character has got to be some kind of scientist to be on this kind of an exploration. So that's what I'm doing. I'm experimenting with all the plants to figure out if there is a use for them somewhere in the game. And I want to make sure they're on hand whenever I find out what that use is. Of course, there is a use for the acid mushroom, battery acid. So that's one. The creep vine, the seeds give you the lubricant, and the vines give you the fiber mesh and stuff like that. So that part is great. I've got those right near my base, and I can always get them. This is my science area. And of course you can see I've got more stuff over here. Now there was something that I learned when I was trying to place that lamp there, because I was sitting right here trying to get it to line up. And you can watch my oxygen bar as soon as I'm sitting over one. Let me sit over the top of one, please. Okay, I'm over one now. But see, my oxygen is actually going up. I thought the gas that was coming out of here was just regular gas, like you see bubbles underneath the water all the time. This is actual oxygen that will refill your character's O2. So if you're down in a cave and you're exploring, instead of running all the way back to the surface, if there's one of these, just sit over the top of them. I did not realize that until I was trying to place that thing right there, and I noticed my O2 was going up. So the science experiment is already working great. Okay, and now we're going to go into my science lab, which is right here. This is, oh, I didn't do the above look over here, which I think actually looks awesome. I'm planning on putting some more planters right there in the middle, because of course this area's got to be feng shui amongst all of the gas that is going on over there. Thank you guys, appreciate that. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I have got 4 aquariums where I'm going to experiment on whether or not I can get the eggs in this thing to grow. You find them everywhere, but it doesn't allow you to scan them to find out what's in them. So I put a whole bunch over here, and just in case the creature is too big, gets too big, it's a bad idea completely. I didn't want it attached to the place that had all of my resources, so I went and built an entire science department, which has got an awesome observatory to see the fish over there in the corner. Just a great view of the base over there. You can see a little bit of the wreck that's kind of just like glitching over there, but that is okay. And I've got a little bit of food over here too in case I happen to be in the middle of doing something I don't want to run all the way across. These particular pictures, whenever you get a PDA, one of the PDAs that you can actually get from, I guess the only place you would get them is from a life pod. I haven't found them anywhere else. But you can change the picture out for any image you get from the PDA. And so far, this is the only image I've gotten from a PDA, but I still think that's pretty neat. And this is my observation and recording area. And all the eggs I've collected so far are sitting over here waiting for me to try those out, but I will not be doing that right now. I'm going to be doing that in-game. This is just me showing you the structure I have built and the very feng shui way of building it. And then, of course, I've got my fabricator over here in case I need it for whatever. I haven't decided if it's actually necessary, but I figured if it was over here and I needed to run out and grab a fish or something like that, any number of reasons, it's there in case I needed it. But that's pretty much it. I wanted to make sure that even though it's a base, even though I know I'm eventually going to have a sub or something that people typically use all the time or whatever, even though this may not even be the best location for a base, why not make it feel awesome whenever you come here? Why not explore all the flora and fauna of an alien world? Why not do all that? I mean, it's there, why not? So here's my challenge to anybody who plays Subnautica. Let me see your base. Leave me a link down in the description or hit me up on Twitter with an image of your base. And I will do a video of the best bases I have seen, and I give you 1 month. I think 1 month is good enough because it takes a long time to harvest for materials. And a lot of people have already played this game, so I'm kind of running behind anyway. So I don't know if a challenge like this has been done, but if you already have a base, show me a video, show me some pictures, and I will do an episode showing those off and calling people's names out and all kinds of stuff. I think this is an awesome thing to do. I've been working on this for 2 or 3 days because Fallout has been down. And I wanted something else to build in, so I took it out on this one. What I would awesomely really want is not only a very diverse base, but something where you've actually collected as much as you possibly can of the flora and fauna of this world and tried to do something with it. Like right now, I don't like the way this is in the center. It's not very feng shui in the center. It's kind of annoying me with that one tree sitting there, but it will be fixed very, very shortly. But anyway, that is all I have for today, and I do apologize for this being out of order from the story area that I'm doing. But, well, I wanted to show everybody what we were doing in Subnautica, and this is a build, which is normally Build Monday, so it kind of works out, sort of, forgive me. But whenever I do the playlist, I'll put this one in order so you can actually see it. And, yeah, hit me up if you have a build in Subnautica that you would like to show off. And let's see if we can't get something like this going. They've got some really awesome stuff. Even if you don't have all the building materials, let me go ahead and see what you have. Or if you have more building materials than I have, let's see what you have. Because, like, right now I don't even have a scanning room because I haven't figured out where I want to put it. Anyway, that is it. Y'all have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and a wonderful 5 o'clock somewhere. Bye!